Well, hello and welcome to the Real Hernando, presented to you by Wesley Meadows Retirement Community and produced by SRP Studios Podcasting. This podcast spotlights Hernando, Mississippi's businesses, organizations, and community leaders. As always, a heartfelt thank you to all of our incredible sponsors who make this journey possible. Visit the sponsors tab at therealhernando.com where you'll find clickable logos for each sponsor. Simply click the logo and you will go straight to their website. We encourage that you patronize their businesses as much as possible. Again, follow us at therealhernando.com for all of our channel links and social media platforms. And now a word from Wesley Meadows Retirement Community. Each day at Wesley Meadows is a new opportunity to serve older adults and reimagine retirement living. It is the heart of their mission that inspires their team to provide the kind of fun atmosphere and care the residents would want for themselves. Experience the warm spirit and faith-based difference of Wesley Meadows. Call 662-429-2070 and schedule your visit today. All right, welcome back to the show. Usually I say I am your host, Derrick, but now I'm your co-host, Derrick, along with my co-host, Lauren McLendon. What's up, Lauren? How are you?
Doing well.
Welcome.
Enjoying the sunshine.
Yes, very much so, even though I'm in my darkened room right now, nice and cozy. But welcome to your second episode with me, as co-host, that is.
Yes, I got a promotion.
That's right, yeah. So what we're going to do today, folks, is, why are we coming back so soon from the last episode? Usually this is a bi-weekly podcast, but we just released one last week. I pitched it to Lauren that we do a quicker turnaround to reset the flow and the what's the word I'm looking for? The
cadence.
The cadence. I'm always
musical. I don't know.
Musical. The rotation. There we go.
There we go.
The rotation of the published days to better fit our schedule and Lauren's schedule as our alderman at large. So now, starting today, if you're listening to this on published day, which will be Tuesday the 23rd, expect our next episode in 2 weeks. With that said, also, this is going to be another just straight co-hosted episode for two reasons. One, I don't have any interviews booked right now, or I have one booked, but nothing filmed yet. We're trying to catch up because of me having to take so much time off. So there's that reason. And because of that, I thought reason number two would be good to jump in here as a co-host episode to learn more about you, the audience, to learn more about us, but as a way for me and Lauren to learn a little more about each other as we're going to continue to build this collaboration and relationship on the show. It's good for us to know each other a little more as well. And why not
Absolutely.
Do it in front of the audience? So some of this won't have anything to do with Hernando and some will. So we thought it'd be a fun idea to come up with a handful of questions that we would know ahead of time so we can kind of think of what we want to bring to the table as far as answers. And fun questions like, what historical figure has been a good influence on your life? What is like one of your most positive memories of this year, 2025? If you were to take a friend to Hernando for their first time, where would you take them? What would you do with them? Favorite movie, biggest pet peeve. All right. So we're going to run through those. But first, I do want to make this Hernando-centric and current and promote something that's almost done, unfortunately, and that is the Hometown Headliners series. That is when you have live entertainment in front of the courthouse every Thursday through the month of September. It is hosted by the Desoto Arts Council. And this coming Thursday, the 25th, bless you, Lauren, no one saw you or heard you, but you sneezed, so bless you, is the last Thursday of the month. And the band is Brian Blake. He's the artist. He's a great rootsy country artist, does originals, does covers. He does a lot of acoustic work. But for the Hometown Headliners, this will be his second year in a row doing it. He brings a full band, outstanding music. So please check that out. It's from 7 to 9, right in front of the courthouse. There's going to be food trucks. Bring your lawn chair, bring a cooler, bring some drinks, bring your kids. find a good spot, hang out. It's beautiful weather. It's a beautiful time. So I also want to thank the past bands that have performed this month. First Thursday was a band called Generation X, followed by Five for the Kill. Kind of a crazy name, not a thrash, death metal band, good classic rock band. And then last week was Roxy Love. And again, this week, as we published this on the 23rd, Brian Blake. Another special shout out to the DeSoto Arts Council and Kylie Collins and the board of directors there for allowing me for the second year the opportunity to be the talent booker for the series. So thank you to them again. I was also supposed to MC. I was supposed to be the guy before the band starts and during their set break to thank the council, promote some council events, arts council events, that is.
And somebody said, break a leg.
Break a leg, Derrick. Yeah, go ahead, break a leg. So that was supposed to be me as part of it. It was a sponsor in kind. I really haven't mentioned it much on this podcast, but I have started a second entity called Thrive Entertainment with, as a talent booking agency, but also a DJ. I'm DJ Thrive as well. Thrive Entertainment / DJ Services. So they collaborated with me as a sponsor in kind. So I had some logo presence there, and I was supposed to MC it and then book the bands. But like you said, Lauren, I went ahead and broke a leg. So I should be there this Thursday though for the last one. I'm in a boot now. I'm out of the splint. Still no weight bearing. Still on crutches. I naively thought that I would start being able to crawl a little bit. Nope. So another couple weeks without any pressure or weight on my leg, and then PT starts in 2 weeks. So check it out. And it's every September every year. Plus, there's a June series called Sunset on the Square, which is hosted by the Chamber. Same format every Thursday of June. So be on the lookout for that next year. All right. So Lauren, I'm going to read off the question, and I'll let you start each question with your answer.
Okay.
All right. So, and this first one was the trickiest one for me. And I'm probably going to tweak it a little bit, but what historical figure has been the greatest influence on your life, Lauren?
So there's a lot of different presidents and activists that I have identified a lot with, but this is going to sound weird. It's one of those hear me out, guys, but hear me out. Arnold Schwarzenegger is my guy. So it's easy to think of him as just this meathead guy. He's in so many action movies as a kid. I remember, The Terminator, of course. But he's just had that physique, and he got kind of cast into that, never fully lost his accent, even though he spent a lot of money trying to lose the accent to fit into Hollywood. I mean, he's got a last name this long, unpronounceable, so he overcame a lot to make it in Hollywood, and even to just come over to the United States to do bodybuilding to begin with. So he's just a very interesting person, just from his upbringing. People that don't know about him, you wouldn't think that he was the second born, that he was scrawny compared to his brother. And you would think of him, I always thought of him as a self-made man, what an American dream, came to the States, made a name for himself, did all these things, got into politics, all of this. But he's very insistent on, don't ever call me that. You can call me pretty much anything, but not self-made, because he's somebody bought my ticket to come over to the United States to get into bodybuilding, and someone got me a job and gave me advice on how to do these things. And he's just a very cool dude. And obviously has had a lot of interesting life experiences and perspectives from the widely different realms that he's lived in. And he's come back into acting again, and he's written several books. And what's interesting to me is, although there are some ghostwritery parts of things, his books, it is him. It's not a lot of people that have autobiography after autobiography come out that are all either duplicates of themselves or totally ghostwritten. His stuff is very authentic. So he had one come out not too long ago, and it's just called Be Useful. And it's advice from his father. And if nothing else, his father was always Arnold, be useful, do something with your time. Don't just sit around. So that's my guy, Arnold.
That's awesome. And that's a great answer because he has an amazing documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, Lauren. You might have.
I've seen just about every Arnold thing you can imagine.
Great. You know,
super fan.
It's fascinating. Like you said, foreign born, moves to the States to pursue his dream and career in bodybuilding, wins all the awards you can win, and then becomes a huge businessman early on before he even became an actor.
Real estate.
And
business, yeah.
So, and then we all know then he becomes this mega star, like the top notch at the time, Hollywood star, biggest selling grossing movies. Again, with
it's just him and Sly back and forth.
Yes. Competing with each other. So he's a very competitive person, clearly. But he, again, with very broken English, you would not expect this guy to also be a massive movie star. And then, oh, by the way, he marries into the Kennedy family. And then he becomes governor of California. It's remarkable of what that man was able to accomplish. So that's really cool. That's really cool. I did not expect that. I didn't hear that. I didn't expect that coming.
Well, and here's something else funny about him. So I've taken the Myers-Briggs test. For those that haven't had to take it, it's like one of those rites of passage in corporate America. You have to take this personality test to figure out something about you. And I always thought, oh, this is like a horoscope thing where you could kind of read into it whatever you wanted. But every single time I've taken it, I get the exact same result. So I've definitely drunk the Kool-Aid on it where I'm like, okay, I guess this is real. And so my personality type is INTJ. I'm an architect is kind of how they say it. I like work behind the scenes on things, more so thinker, taking in information from people. And that's the same personality type as Arnold.
There you go.
And I'm like, oh, like my idol. Awesome.
Well, mine's a little different. I couldn't think of what you would consider like a historical figure, someone that's in the pop culture or in the history books. But in order to come up with some answer, the person that I could think of the most is my grandfather. Okay, so
I love that.
Roland Michaud. In French families, grandfather is Pepe. So he was my Pepe, just like Pepe Le Pew, same pronunciation and spelling. And he helped raise me. I didn't have my dad growing up. Lived with my grandparents till I was in my tweens. But even through my teens, he was always an influence on me. He was born in 1916, right? So he was one of those guys that quit school in second grade to then help family working on the farm, but he was a natural born entrepreneur. And it didn't make sense to me then, but looking back on it, it does, considering I am one, my mother is one. I have an uncle that's, a lifelong business owner. So my grandfather was a veteran, 40-year-long professional lobsterman. Which was just one of his jobs. Again, different time, worked 2 jobs, stay-at-home mom. My grandmother never worked, 5 kids, the drill.
Oh, yeah.
So he was just a workaholic and tough as nails, but a very sweet man. But someone with very limited education was able to, in essence, run a business. Lobstermen, they are their own entities. They own their boat. They get out there. They catch what they can catch. They sell the catch at the pound. And that's it, so they're on the hook for everything and running their own books and being their own businessman. I always thought, looking back on that, that's remarkable of how he was able to do that with limited education. And didn't know, so he was in his 60s when I was born. So now I'm 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, Little League baseball, Little League basketball. I wrestled through 6th through 8th grade. He was at every game. He literally took me to all these games. And when they first came out, we got him a camcorder. Remember the old school cameras that you put on your shoulder and it had the VHS tape in it and everything? I have, under my bed now, I have a box of all these VHS tapes of all these games that he filmed. And I have a VCR too. And I found this VCR years ago thinking, I'm going to watch these and I'm going to try to digitize these tapes. Yet to do that. But there's a lot of archive footage of my youth thanks to that man. So that's my answer. My grandfather, he's my hero. I wish, he passed 2004. So man, I wish he was still around, but he'd be very old. He'd probably be breaking records.
He'd be over 100.
Yeah, he'd be
right?
109 years old or something crazy like that. So, all right, cool. Go Pepe and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he would have loved your answer too. He loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. He loved his movies, and he loved his physique. He loved bodybuilding as well. He wasn't a bodybuilder, but he was into fitness. So, all right. Now, question number 2. 2025 is coming to a close soon. What has been your most positive memory this year, Lauren?
So mine happened at the very beginning of the year. So I have a sister that's 5 years younger than me, and she lives in San Antonio. So it is a haul to get over there. From Memphis to anywhere is at least you're changing planes once, And so I don't get to see her as often as I'd like. And so much of the time, we would talk to each other every single day on FaceTime and Messenger and whatever. And we took for granted, I guess, when we were kids and we were right down the hall from each other and could annoy the heck out of each other and, steal clothes from each other, whatever. And I had my wedding in December and her birthday is January 5th. And I surprised her by flying in. So her partner knew I was coming, but nobody else did. And so my nieces had no clue, nothing. So I turn off all my location sharing. I'm not posting any pictures of being at the airport or anything, and get to her house. I'm hiding behind a couch in there. And I had my hair up in a bun like this, and I have blonde hair. Everybody else in her house has black hair. Her partner's Hispanic. And so I flew in for her birthday, but also he was going to propose to her. And so I'm hiding behind the couch and I'm oh no, okay, now I'm trapped here. What do I do? When do I pop out? And she sees my hair and she's what the heck is that? And comes over and sees me. But we had a wonderful weekend, and just to be able to see her again and how surprised she was, how surprised my nieces were they're she can just do that. She can just show up if she wants. And it's well, it took some doing, but yeah, I got to come over. And so Sam proposed to her. She accepted, so they're engaged, and I'm excited for them on that chapter of their life.
So what's your sister's name?
Erin.
Congratulations,
Lauren and Erin.
Congratulations. Yes. So that's great. Mine's family-based as well, and it's about my daughter. This year, this is that seismic switch in every young adult's or young teenager's life when they get their license. And it's good for her, but it's also a seismic shift for the parent. Any parents out there that have kids that, the drill once you've gone through those phases, so it was it was after the school year. So I would say it was probably June when she got her license. And it was an epic day. She had her permit for a year. So 2024 could be that first drive we did together, right?
Yeah.
So then she gets her license this year, and I remember we didn't have a car set up for her yet, but I was you can use my car today as she got her license. So she dropped me off at the studio back when I could go there, and I let her drive off for the first time alone, and took a picture of her. Took a picture of her sitting in the car in the driver's seat, and then took a quick video of her driving off. Wow. Yeah, so it's awesome. And she's my only child, so all the firsts are more special to me because it's the last too. I'm not going to experience another new license for a child. And now she has a car, thanks to her meme, my mom, which meme is French for grandmother. Handed down the car, and then my mom got something else. So, so it's been great. And man, excuse me, logistically it's heaven when your child finally can get him or herself around. She's still in school. Of course, she's a senior, but she's in choir, and she has a job now, and she has friends, so she can. It's sad that she doesn't need dad quite as much, I do miss those commutes to school and back.
Right.
But it's also nice having that taken care of now. So it's a very positive memory for me as well, because it's that big shift.
Oh yeah.
And again, to the parents out there, they know all this. You know, it's like one day all of a sudden you don't have to tie your kid's shoe anymore. It just happens, right? Like,
yeah.
Now your kids, usually before the tying of the shoe, they're brushing their teeth by themselves. There's always these little firsts, these seismic shifts that is growth and maturity and needing the parent less, even though there's something else behind it. I'm not naive to think that my now 17-year-old doesn't need me anymore. She's going to need me when she's 30, right? I get it, but but it's one of those seismic shifts, but it's easy to know when it happens. Going back to the tying of the shoe, I can't remember when I tied her shoe last. It just kind of happens, right? It just all of a sudden you realize, oh wow, okay, I'm not tying shoes anymore. But you'll never forget the day that you let your kid drive off by him or herself. It's because it's terrifying, it's sad, it's emotional, it's exciting, it's all of the things. So
yeah,
okay,
that is so cool. I mean, because now, especially as a senior, having a car and getting to kind of grow through that and setting her schedule and stuff, that's good. Especially if she's planning to go to college and do that side of things. Like, that's a big step, being able to set your schedule on things. School is this time, work is this time, practices for any extracurriculars, and then getting yourself there. That's huge. Wow.
And I've seen it bump up or boost her confidence and her maturity level, because she's thinking more on her own now. I love it. So, but I keep telling her, no rush to move out. We can hold on that for a while. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But, all right. If you had just one day to take a friend who has never been to Hernando around town, which spots would you take them to? My answer is a four-parter. So, but I want to hear your answer.
So I basically got to do this past weekend. My dad and my little brother came to town, and they were only in town for about 36 hours. My little brother's 10, so he's still in school, and they had to kind of coordinate it around flights, getting here, which again, it's always two flights to get to Memphis, 2 flights to get out. So we had about 36 hours to hit all of Hernando, and we didn't hit all of it, that's for sure. But I was like, blessedly, they came in on a Saturday. They got in just early enough for us to go to the farmer's market. So that's like kind of a non-negotiable. Even if farmer's market's not going on, driving the square and like oohing and awing at stuff, and that it's a living town square where there's businesses operating, restaurants, shops, law offices, field offices for like Roger Wicker is over there, I believe. And then the courthouse, of course, is really impressive. And I told my dad before we got up there, so I drove him into town. We got off the Commerce exit and drove down that way. And I was like, you're going to giggle when we see it, because it looks just like the courthouse from Back to the Future, but without the clock tower attached. And he's like, it totally does. Like, that's exactly what it looks like stepping back in time. So the square, non-negotiable. We went to Baker's Corner for lunch. I hang out there all the time, especially because I have celiac. It's just like a godsend to have somewhere like that to go. Then we got to have the parish for dinner. So that's my favorite, like, special occasion. Or if somebody wants to meet for lunch, that's always like what I'm going to pick. And then we were so stuffed, I couldn't take them anywhere to get ice cream afterwards. I was just like, it's basically like, how much delicious Hernando food can I shove down you guys? And like I said, with it being Saturday, like, that ended up being kind of the perfect day, because a lot of places at least are open half the day. So like, theoretically, like, maybe if we'd had a little bit more time, we could have like stopped by Mississippi Eats and bought something to eat on Sunday. But it's like a Monday would be like the worst time to come to Hernando. But like Thursdays, there's usually a music thing, something going on. Fridays, same thing. You can find something, even if it's just music at a restaurant, you can find something. But I was like, man, this worked out about perfect for them to come in on a Saturday. So it was jam packed. We also got to go to the minifig store that's over by Bazaars. I am 35, so I don't play with Legos, but my little brother loves them. And so that was fun to go check that out and just kind of see stuff through the eyes of a 10-year-old because,
Yeah.
I try to like think about what kids in Hernando would want. And I love seeing how Church Park, after it's been renewed, how busy it is over there. But when you don't have kids, you're just not cognizant of a lot of that stuff. So it's kind of cool, like borrowing my brother to
Yeah.
look through his eyes at stuff. But so that was like pretty successful. We could have done more, but I think they would have been like, you were, dragging us around town to see everything. So we saw the right number of things for them to actually enjoy everything that we went and saw.
There should be a Mexican restaurant tour,
Oh, I know. That was the one thing. I was like, you guys, because they live in Lubbock, Texas. And I was like, I mean, anywhere in Texas,
Yeah.
I'm not going to insult you by taking you to Mexican food in Hernando.
Well, you're gonna laugh at my answer. So
Is it all Mexican?
Well, no, it starts at the square and farmers market.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, that's an easy one. Even without the farmers market, the square, that's the centerpiece of Hernando. It really is. And the way it circles the courthouse, like you said, and it's funny you brought up the clock tower. Yes, we don't have a clock on the courthouse, but we do have a cool clock on the corner of Commerce and 51.
A separate one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really neat. Would have been a lot easier for Doc Harris to climb up to and done what he needed to do.
Doc Brown, not Doc Harris.
Oh, Doc Harris was the person you replaced. Doc
He's
Brown.
our state representative. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be funny later. But anyway, so then you go after you buy some hot pepper relish and a loaf of sourdough bread at the farmer's market. Go to see the old water tower. Go check out that historical monument. And then you're going to go grab some pizza and kettle chips at Buoncibo.
Good call. Yes.
But you got to save room, Lauren. You got to go to then get ice cream at Area 51. Shame on you.
Yes. And that's what my idea was to go to Area 51.
Yeah.
And then I'm like looking at them and my brother is just like, there's no space.
Yeah. I make space for Area 51. Shout out to Lemon Icebox and Snickerdoodle and the Cubbages, Karen and Steve Cubbage.
What I love is that it's always changing, like, because it's always seasonal and fresh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, they're great. Okay, favorite movie. Now I'm just gonna punch in real quick because this is funny. My favorite movie is Back to the Future, Lauren. And I got Doc's name wrong.
That's so funny.
And you brought up the clock tower. Like you're bringing all this stuff up that I grew up on. Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, close number 2. But Back to the Future Part 1 and 2, I love them together. But that first one, man, like to this day it stands up, and it's just such a neat movie because it challenges you because it jumps timeline, and and to this day you still find new Easter eggs. It's just a great movie.
My sister and I used to watch that one a lot growing up, and we would watch the whole trilogy of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny when at the end of the third one, spoiler, the movie's been out for like 30 years, but the end of the third one, when Doc Brown has kids, they're named Jules and Verne, like Jules Verne, the author, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a dog named Huckleberry, so I like giving homage to different authors, and especially since the whole thing is just such science fiction and funny.
Yes.
That is a solid choice.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if I have a specific favorite movie. There's a lot of like comfort movies I put on, I guess, where it's just like, yeah, let's just watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
But like my sister and I, we like to watch just like the silly like comedies of like the early 2000s. Like last time that we were together, we watched like The Hot Chick, Legally Blonde. I mean, and it's none of these are good movies necessarily. I mean, Legally Blonde has its moments and stuff, but it's just stuff to just to kind of turn your brain off and laugh.
Yeah.
Especially like that era was a good one for like girly kind of comedies, but you're exactly right. Like that 80s, 90s was good for other ones. Cause we like Uncle Buck and Great Outdoors, stuff like that too. But I would much rather, like, if I had to just watch one movie on repeat, have it be a comedy than anything else.
Yeah.
But
one of my all-time favorites is Shawshank Redemption.
that is a good one. Yeah.
And then The Founder. It's on Netflix still. It's about
McDonald's?
Yes.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Great. I love Michael Keaton. And
he was the best Batman, and I'll fight about it.
Let's go. I appreciate that. I love the Christian Bale series, the Dark Knight series, that trilogy.
It was well done.
Amazing. Yeah. But the first Michael Keaton one, I mean, he did too, and they were both great. And what I loved about him, and some people look at this as a bad thing. They say it looks campy and it looks cheap. It's like, no, they were trying to get the essence
authentic
of the show, the Adam West Batman.
Yes.
So I love it. Minus these zwap, bam, poom, pow, minus all that. They really captured that campiness of the TV show. But yeah, Michael Keaton, great Batman. That
dude's got so much range. People don't give him credit for it, because in The Founder, that's such a serious, like, playing an entrepreneur, businessman, and just how serious he is in that. And then Batman has its own challenges, and then like Beetlejuice. I mean, it's just weird, to think like the range of stuff this one guy has. Yeah, he's my favorite Batman. It's the same reasons there, where it's like it's authentic to how it was.
All right, last one. Biggest pet peeve, or multiple if you have them. I'll let you start. Mine is so easy. I don't really have anything that like other people do that annoys me. I mean, like, I don't like it when I get interrupted, but I would say the thing that annoys me most on this planet that's just like random is if I get hiccups, because then I can't stop. And I know that's not really what a pet peeve is, but it's like, of all things that annoy me, that's like small and stupid, it is having hiccups. So someone interrupting me, or hiccups, which I guess is my body interrupting me. My gut impulse was to interrupt you when you said that, but I didn't.
Right?
I didn't. Mine, folks, please look. We're in this together. Okay, we're all in this rat race together.
Is it going to be zipper merge? Uh-oh.
No, but it has to do with driving.
Okay.
For the love of everything holy, use your blinkers. Please use your blinkers. It's so easy. I think that's what drives me nuts the most. Granted, it's a communication. Like, we're working together here. We're communicating with each other. So it's like you have your blinker on. Now I know in certain situations I can move forward and do what I need to do now because of you signaling to me that you're going left or right. Now I can go do something. I can do my next thing. Thank you.
It's the worst when like you're trying to trade places and you got your signal on, like, hey, let me over, and they're just chilling. Mm-hmm. And it's like, buddy, we could have helped each other out.
Well, mine is if I'm at a like a 4-way, or like let's say a 2-way. I'm at a stop sign. I want to go right or left. The car coming to my left, they have a right of way. They don't have a stop sign, and they take a right hand turn from themselves without a blinker. Well, I could have gone. Like, if you would have showed me you had a blinker on, but then now I get in my own head, because now sometimes when they do have a blinker, I don't trust them because you've seen people with blinkers on go straight, right? So, but what makes this a pet peeve is the level of effort or lack thereof to perform such a task. I mean, you're supposed to be driving hands. Was it 10 and 2, right? Yeah. So your left hand's at 10 o'clock. You could literally just put out your pinky and control your either up or down. It's so easy. It's so easy to do.
There. Yeah.
It's right there. So use your blinkers or turning signals. I've been told blinkers is more of like a New England saying. I don't know, but
blinkers, I use that.
Blinkers.
So, turn signal sounds very proper.
Yes, please use your turning signal.
Because it's always blinker fluid. That's the joke, is the blinker fluid, not the turn signal fluid.
Yeah. So that's a big pet peeve. I could think of plenty, but that's the one I go to.
Well, especially with your daughter on the road now too. It's like,
oh yeah,
everybody signal.
Well,
Please.
even well before she got a permit, she's heard me have, mild bouts of road rage and about blinkers. So, of course, when she starts driving permit, I'm drilling this stuff into her head, and then she starts noticing, oh yeah, now I know what you mean. Now I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yep.
you do know what I mean. And then parking, she always used to be like, Dad, there was a spot right there. Why didn't you park there? Whether it's our apartment complex parking lot or at Walmart. And I would say, well, that one was tight. I wanted to get this next one. It was easier to pull in. And she'd be like, all she thought was, well, you're parking further away now. Well, now she's driving. She knows about parking. So it's, going back to now she's learning. But yeah, the blinker thing, I'm like, please do not be a non-blinker person. And I guess another pet peeve is, there's late people and then there's early people. I'm an early person. So things happen. Things happen that are that can be out of your control to be late. We all understand that. But you do have a lot of control in being on time and early. So,
yes.
One
of my best friends, she's chronically early, like too early. We went to something on Saturday. I think she got there like 25 or 30 minutes early. And I was like, bless you. Like, I haven't even left the house yet. And I got there a little early, but I try to be early. In college, one of the things, like the rule of thumb that we learned was for every degree that our instructor had, we could give them 5 minutes of grace before we asked any questions. So like if it was someone with a master's degree, we'd give them 10 minutes, and PhD, we'd give them 15. But then if they showed up later than that, it was like, give them grief over it. But yeah. That was like our level of respect. But I'm like, yeah, beyond 5 minutes, it's like, at least be texting me.
Right. Communicate. Just communicate. Now I understand the too early thing. Mm-hmm. But I have an instance where I personally couldn't be early enough. And I do have an example of when I'm purposely late. So early, like when I fly, I'm the guy that has gone through security and am looking at my terminal 2+ hours early. I don't care. Like I'll break out my laptop. I'll find a place to set up camp and I enjoy it. It just eases my anxiety getting through security and everything. And once I know, I find my terminal, and then I know, is it running late or is it on time at the moment? Okay, everything's taken care of. Good. Then let's go find a cafe or something, right? So yeah. I don't mind. I couldn't be early enough. Late, if someone's throwing a get-together at a house, like a big pool party or some kind of Halloween party where it's like from 6 to 9, right? It's a big thing, and there's food, and people are going to be coming in and out. I don't show up at 6, 6:15, 6:20, fashionably late. What you don't want to do is show up at 5:45. You don't show up early for something like that, because the hosts aren't ready for you yet. They don't want you there yet, and it does feel awkward being the first one there. It's like, you don't want to be the first one there. It's awkward walking in, and meanwhile, they're still dumping chips into a bowl. It's like, you want to get there when the food's already out and there might be a few people there mingling already. That's most comfortable for me. So I don't mind being a little late for
That's smart. I hadn't really thought about that, but it is like, yeah. I always hate it. It's annoying when people are like, oh, 6-ish or 7-ish. And I'm like, but when? When do you actually want people there? Like, because I don't want to be that person that they're like, they'll changing out the fancy soaps or the towels in the guest bathroom or whatever. Like, I don't want to be in their way or anything or make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. My, he doesn't watch this, so I can make fun of him, but my co-host for the Rhythm Section podcast, my buddy, brother, Jeff Ward, my drummer as well. We, when in season, we film every Sunday. We filmed today, but it was on Zoom. But usually we're in the studio and we have a rhythm every Sunday. We have our schedule and everything. And I got used to it now, but I used to be like, yeah, be here for 10. And I'm there at 8 prepping and doing what I need to do. He'll show up at 9, an hour early, which, okay, you can hang out. There's no issue here. But I still have work to do. So but now he wants to talk to me the whole time he's there. And I'm like, if we want to start on time, you got to shut up. Like I got work to do over here. No, but it's all good. He's an early person. I'd much rather him be early than late. So, and that's another thing.
You say that about the flights though. So, because I fly all the time, like constantly for work. This year has been one of the lowest for flights, not for trips, but I've driven to a lot of places because they've been within a 5-hour drive radius. But there's two camps of people. There's people like you that like, does gate 5 really exist? Okay, it does. All right, now I can like exhale, get a drink, sit and work on whatever on my laptop and feel at ease. And I totally respect and get that. And then there's the other camp of people that are like walking up as boarding is happening. And in my department, there's not very many of us. And I'm getting ready to go on a trip this upcoming week. And we're all of the people from Memphis that are flying up there. My boss is one of those that like breezes up right as boarding is happening. And I'm a little terrified because he's the one that's going to be dropping us off at the airport at the end of the conference. And I'm like, I hope our flight, I need to look and see if our flight is later than his. I'm hoping it is because we don't have that level of grace. Even with as much as I travel, I'm that person that's like, did somebody stick something in my bag? And it's never been out of my sight. There's no reason to think that, but I get really like paranoid that something's happened. And the other two guys from Memphis, I don't even know that they've flown like post 9/11. Like one of them, he was asking me if the travel size things was still a thing. And I'm like, they just made it where you don't have to take your shoes off, which is a huge step. But it's like, you're in for a whole world, buddy.
I haven't flown in 3+ years now. So, I don't know a world, or at least modern, I don't know the world of flying without taking my shoes off. So the next time I fly, that's going to be great. Because it's such a pain in the butt.
It was delightful. The last flight I was on, I was just like, and all these years, I should have gotten TSA pre-check. And it's like, I got close to getting it, then COVID happened, they shut it down. And then when Sadler and I got engaged, I was like, well, I'm going to change my name. Like, I'll just wait, like, because then I'll have to go through it again. And now what's my excuse? It's been enough time. I should have applied for it by now. But
I have a funny and embarrassing story in terms of the security check. This isn't about running late, but my daughter and I are flying to Maine or coming back. I can't remember which direction. I think going up. She's 7, so she's got the Dora Explorer backpack, full of Play-Doh, and just things to keep her occupied, and markers and coloring books and everything. And we go through security, everything's going through the conveyor belt. I'm putting my belt back on, our shoes back on, and all of a sudden we get flagged, and they take her Dora the Explorer backpack. I'm like, huh?
Of all bags.
I'm like, what? And so I see the lady digging through, and she was visibly annoyed and upset, and she didn't find this funny. I think it's hilarious, but I understand where she's coming from. So she's digging through the bag. I see her reach her hand in the bag. She's grabbing something. She looks right at me, just hairy eyeballs, like, how dare you? And it's funny, what she pulls out is a butter knife, which was used to cut said Play-Doh, like forever, it's a Play-Doh tool, right? It's a tool for Play-Doh. But I understand trying to board a flight with a butter knife post 9/11, not good. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, a butter knife. And she's like, and I'm like, sorry, it's for my kid cutting the Play-Doh. She's like, well, you can't take this on the plane. I'm like, by all means, you can go ahead and just throw that right in the trash can. It's okay.
Right, yeah.
I don't need the butter knife. But it was embarrassing too, because it's like, oh God. Yeah.
And to a kid, like they don't, especially, I don't know, even 12-year-old wouldn't know what the heck's going on, like why it's such a big deal.
I didn't know it was in there, because that backpack's been used for so many different things. Like I said, it's just you put all the toys in there, and part of Play-Doh.
Yeah, you got to
butter
cut
knife.
it.
You got to cut them. You got to cut the Play-Doh. So, anyways, but well, and I will say one more fun airport story, because this does mean running late and the panic when trying to connect and not miss your connector, or the second flight, and the terror that is when you're sitting in the plane and you see the last person walk in. But flying again, going to Maine with, at the time, my infant daughter. She's a lap child, right? She's in a stroller. She's in diapers. So it's a very tight layover. We need to change the diaper. I'm running to the terminal, and of course, it's one of those deals where the second flight's on the other side of the airport, right? You know that drill.
Yeah.
So I finally get to the terminal, and there's one person there, and it's the lady, I forget what they're called, the ticket person, shutting the door.
Oh no.
So I'm like, wait, and I could tell she saw a stressed, sweaty single dad with a baby, not knowing what he's doing, stressed out, like running late. She's like, come on. She's like, come on. So there was no issue. She didn't fight it. But I'll never forget I could physically feel the gasp, the oxygen leaving the plane when I turned the corner heading down the aisle, and I saw the whole plane notice that a baby's on the plane now. Like, you know how it is. Like, you're flying, you're like, no babies? Okay, I'm not going to be dealing with any crying babies right now. This is going to be a good flight. And then the last person on the plane comes in with an 11-month-old. It's like, oh no. I could just tell everyone's rolling their eyes and shaking their heads. And I'm like, sorry, I'm here now. But she was good. You know, she didn't cry a lot. So I was thankful for that. But anyways, so that was fun, Lauren. What did you think?
Likewise.
Yeah, that was good. And very unique, extremely unique episode for this podcast, which is exactly what I wanted. I promised to the fans of the show, whether you watch or listen, we're going to get more Hernando based. We're going to bring back interviews, and do like we have been doing since day one, you know, but figured right now through this shift and change, reformatting, whatever you want to call it, it'd be neat for now your new co-host along with me to show off some personality here. Just get to know your hosts, plural now. So, well, good deal. Lauren, do you have any final words you want to leave us with before we head on out of here?
I've learned a lot about you, Derek. Like, I'm surprised. That Back to the Future thing, that is so funny. Yes. Like, of all movies, but it is such a good standalone. And I'm forever going to be embarrassed that I got Doc Brown's name wrong. It's not Doc Brown. It's not Doc Harris. It's not the former alderman at large. Well, you can tell you're from, you spend time in Hernando if you get it mixed up. And now Doc Harris now is state senator, correct? Or representative? Representative, yeah. And what district? For Hernando. Okay. I'm trying to think what the DeSoto ones are. I know Rodney Hall and then Doc Harris, but I know there's a third. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. No. I fell asleep in civics class, so I don't know how these things work, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot over, various election cycles, if you will. We just went through one, did we not? Yeah. So, well, great. Good deal. Thank you, Lauren. Looking forward to, having an interview. We should have an interview. Me and Lauren off camera have talked about trying to figure out, we have one booked, but I'm still waiting to hear if they're willing to do it on Zoom now, so on and so forth. Once I'm getting around better, maybe we can go in studio here and there too, because Zoom is certainly convenient for both of us. But it's not the same either. It's nice being in person, having these conversations as well. So, we'll get there, everybody. But again, thanks to Lauren for joining me today, and thank you to the listener and viewer out there for hanging out with us. If you made it this far, as I always say, please pat yourself on the back. Congratulations. You made it to the end. Not 100% of you do. And that's just how podcasting works, right? Again, go to therealhernando.com. There you can find all of our links, people. We are on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's how hip we are. And a thank you to all of our sponsors in Wesley Meadows Retirement Community. Again, click that sponsors tab, find their logo, click the logo, patronize their place, whether you're just there to get an address so you can go there, or you can order something online, whatever it may be. Patronize these local businesses. Some of them are outside of Hernando, but they're all local. DeSoto County, DeSoto-esque, if you will. So please support them. And as always, thanks again for watching and listening. Y'all have a great day.